Good afternoon. I'll call the meeting of the Board of Water Wastewater Commissioners to order for Tuesday, August 19th at 2 p.m. We have Commissioner Young, myself, Noreen Donahue, and we have Commissioner Underwood on the phone, so we do have a quorum. So we will go ahead with that. So the first item is the minutes from July 15th. And I'm just making one change to them, which I did give to Tracy already. So what it is that under the section about the new building, the space building as we call it, the one in your packet says that it would be a building with drainage, and it's actually going to be a building without drainage. So we took that line out. So with that said, I would ask if anybody would be ready to approve those minutes.
I'll make a motion. We approve those minutes as amended.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Second.
Yes, thanks, Judith. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, and Judith?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We also have the minutes from August 5th, but they were here, Tracy, so I'm thinking maybe we hold them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Put them on the next
because
agenda.
Judith hasn't had a chance to look at them, so that's fine. We'll just move them to next meeting. All right, so then the next item is an abatement request for 34 Boreham Road from the paperwork. Apparently it was an empty house, and there must have been a leak in a shower stall. The family of the previous occupant of that home is asking for relief. Actually, I will say that, thank goodness to our quarterly billing, it didn't get up that high, for a leak.
So this was over 1 quarter?
Yes. The only other thing I noticed when looking at it is that actually the period before that was also, a little bit high. The 53,000 is, that ended on the March 19th, 25, is quite a bit more than they usually use during that winter period. Normally they were using, only around 1,000, 7,000, the kind you would expect, for an empty building. So, maybe there was something going on prior to that, I'm not sure. But
Have they ever asked for an abatement before on this?
no. Well, into this, Wellesley was kind enough to fill out this history for us.
Okay, good.
And, if we wanted to adjust it to the lowest tier, that way we have the amount. But I don't see it as being that extraordinary. I understand there was a leak in the building and it's an empty building, but the water, they did receive the water. In their letter, they mentioned that, obviously they didn't use the water, but...
I can agree with this history and moving it to Tier 1.
I'm kind of more inclined to leave it at the tier it's at. But I suppose we certainly can consider that. It's,
If billed under Tier 1, it goes to...
165.
Right. And the tier that it's at now, what would it be in? Oh, 727?
Yeah.
So you want to leave it at, you're saying we don't give her a break on it at all?
Well, it was a couple of months of a water leak. I'm not thinking of that as being that an extraordinary, this, I'm trying to find the language, but this is usually used under an extreme situation.
So we don't have any other choice, either goes to a different tier, or she has to stay at the July water
Right.
bill?
Yeah, what happened was, for a while, we were getting into the habit of saying like 50/50, which we
Right.
could, fit like Alan, like 50%. And, kind of wanted to get back to people to what our regs, said, which is exactly this. The most important thing that our regulations say is that no breaks for irrigation, and this is
Right.
not irrigation, so
Right.
there's no problem with that.
And she did it within the time frame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to giving them some consideration. At least tier one, at least, pays for the cost of the water, if nothing else. Let me just read this for 1 second. Usage from, yeah. See, it does say, unfortunately, our regs, it says abatements will not be issued for water leaks or high consumption unless otherwise determined by us, by the board. So we can do it.
Well,
I mean, it's an empty building, they had a death in the family, so I'm not, and that's why the building is empty, so,
Well, okay, then I'm gonna make a motion that we do an abatement under tier one and adding it to the base rate, which would bring it to 165.70, giving them a reduction.
right. And I will second it.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Oh, okay, you good.
yeah, no, that's all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Let me just make a note, folks. I just had a thought while we're doing this. Periodically, we do review our water regulations, and, the thought of operating a third option is something we could certainly discuss, besides
it's
tier
kinda-
one or like 50/50 as opposed to the high or the low. Might be something to consider in the
I
future.
don't wanna seem unreasonable,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that it just goes by instrument readings
Yeah,
when extenuating circumstances happen.
right. Okay. Tier one. So now I would ask the superintendent for an update on Route 28 East,
Sure.
water main.
Route 28 East, GHD has replied to all the comments from Mass DOT, and we are waiting for their reply.
Okay,
So that's where we are. They commented on everything that they needed to. That was in last week, and we are waiting for Mass DOT's reply.
pardon me if I don't. I'm just making a note, Judith, I'll be right with you. All right, so now we'll switch to, this is going to be an update on our tank painting project. And I'm sorry, but I've got to ask you your name again.
No problem, Miles.
Miles, okay. Miles from Haley Ward is here. At our last meeting, we voted to approve the award. And probably at our next meeting or sometime thereafter, we'll actually have the contract for the services, and we will approve and sign that. But since it's been a while since we talked about the thing, I wanted to get a little update on where we stand. So with that, I'll let you take it, Miles.
Thanks for having me down. Yeah, so I'll just run through anything, and please stop and ask questions along the way. The signed notice of award went to the contractor. They countersigned that and returned it. I spoke with them right after the bid and also again yesterday. They expect to have their insurance and bonding together by the end of the week and agreements filled out and sent back. So we'll collect that all, review it, bind up 3 sets of contracts for signing and get them back down here. The contractor is Worldwide. They are out of Pennsylvania. They're a tank painter through and through. In this area, we most recently have worked with them and for the Wareham Fire District. They painted their Bourne Hill standpipe and the West Wareham standpipe with working with Andy Cunningham there. That was 3 years ago. They haven't, the brother of the owner loves to do work in Massachusetts, so he sends his brother Chris. He's you know, getting close to retirement, but for some reason he loves working in Massachusetts, so he comes up.
As opposed to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I think they go all over. So, yeah, they did a great job for Wareham, and then also for Paul Anderson over in Brewster, they just painted Paul's 2 tanks. They were rolled under the same contract, and I think that was 2 years ago. So, good contractor. Your bid price was excellent. It came in at $835.
Yeah.
Second and third bidder were 1.1 and 1.3. And we did Buzzards Bay's hydro pillar on Main Street there, which is very similar scope of work in terms of the painting. And I think their price was just over $900,000 I think actually the Pleasant Lake hydro pillar surface area wise is a little bigger of a project. So yeah, you have an excellent price at $835. Buzzards Bay's second and third bidders were like 1 million and 1.2. So yeah, your bids came in great. We're familiar with the contractor, and they are good with the schedule. I spoke with Eric, double checked this morning, and asked him if he wanted to get in a little earlier if he could before the October 6th date, if that would help him out. But he said he actually doesn't have any concern with doing the work starting after October 6th. So
Okay, good.
there's no rush on when that's taken offline and drained.
Okay.
How long does it take them?
For these overcoats, I would say 6 weeks should be like the baseline. You have to add in some time to drain the tank down, and then once they finish their work, coatings cure on the interior. It's only a spot rehab, so there's not much paint on the inside to cure. It usually takes 10 days or 2 weeks to fill the tank, do your bacteria and VOC sampling. So if you assume 6 weeks for their work, plus 2 for draining and bringing the tank back online, I would have about 8 weeks in mind. And hopefully 6 weeks is generous for their work. I think it'll be more like 4 weeks of true work. So it'll depend on, they sent out different crews in Brewster versus Wareham for no rhyme or reason, but they had twice as many laborers on site, and I think they did Paul's tanks 3 weeks each to paint his tanks. So they moved right along there. So I can check with them about the size of their keep crew and what their schedule is, but yeah, it should be painted up and back online come December.
Great.
So I hadn't heard the October 6th date before. That's great. I thought it was going to be later in the fall. So really thrilled with that. One question in terms of the paperwork, Miles, I don't know what I did with my calendar, but we haven't yet set our next meeting. Sorry, I misplaced my calendar, guys. But we can set it so that it would
So we're on the
be
19th.
helpful for getting the contract signed.
Yep.
So normally we would be going 3 weeks from today. I'm sorry, I don't have a,
September 9th,
but we could go a different time. So what,
Labor Day's before that.
right,
So the earliest would be September 9th or
Right.
September 16th.
right, those, those are our two to pick from. So, do you think the contract would be turned around and ready for this board to sign it?
Absolutely, by the 9th or the 16th.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a,
Yeah.
you can quote me on that one. Eric said this morning he expects to have the insurance and bonding together by the end of the week. So, give another week for back and forth
yeah.
on that.
We would
But
be, with Labor Day, we wouldn't be meeting before that.
I don't see any reason why it would take, we have
No.
1, 2, that's 3 weeks out.
Right. So would it being the 9th, would that slow you down? Is that too far the
I
other
think
way?
the 9th sounds great.
Perfect,
And if
okay.
you meet on the 16th, that would
That
work
would
as
be
well.
all right, too.
Yep.
Can Judith do the 9th?
Can you do the 9th, Judith?
Let's see. Looking at my schedule, the 9th. That's my last day, so I'm free from 10 a.m. on. I could be back in Harwich by 10. The rest of the day is free.
Yeah, hang on, we're just juggling.
I'd like to get it signed sooner or later.
Yeah, I
but
would
you-
too. I hate to go I hate to go to the 60.
I do too.
Now, are you gonna be around?
I'll be around.
You're
I'll
definitely.
make sure I'm around,
All right.
absolutely.
Do we have to have a meeting to sign it, Noreen, or is
Yes.
it one of the things that we can all
No.
sign as commissioner,
No, we have to have a
The
meeting
DocuSign.
we have to have a meeting to approve the contract. If every commissioner wasn't here, they could come in after the fact and sign it, but we have to have a board meeting to approve the contract, so yeah, we need a meeting.
2 o'clock on the 9th?
And do it, so, what do you think?
I can do 2 o'clock on the 9th if we have to.
2 o'clock, noon,
She said she can't be there before 1.
before 1? Okay, I didn't hear.
No, before 10.
Before
Oh, before
I
10.
I can be back in Harwich by 10, yeah.
Oh,
My
okay.
thing's at 8 in the morning, yeah. So, like, that day I can be back at 10 a.m. or any time from 10 a.m. on.
Gotcha. Maybe 11 to get
Yeah,
the
11's fine.
spill out of it? Okay, so why don't we set it for the 9th at 11? And then if something happens, we'll just communicate by email. It doesn't
Right.
get posted till before that, okay,
Right.
Tracy? All right, so, sorry to interrupt
Just
you
make
with
sure you
that,
get
but
all
that
their
way.
insurance
Not
and
at all.
bonding.
Right.
Yep, the 3
Oh,
weeks,
okay.
3 weeks is plenty.
All right, Judith, so tentatively, that will be September 9th at 11. And that will be a regular board meeting. But one of the things will be to approve the contract, which we'll have in our packet a few days in advance, is what we require, Miles, so.
Yep,
yeah,
shouldn't
great.
be a problem.
Sounds good.
So, but I do remember when I originally looked at this, whenever it was, pardon me, but I was impressed with your paperwork. As a layperson, it was, very easy to follow, I felt, so I
Great.
appreciate that. And I was also impressed with the level of supervision that you had on the job in terms of somebody always being on site during that period and things of that nature. So, looking forward to this, and I'll let you know, Miles, I live very near there.
Well, this
She's
is,
gonna be down underneath that tank.
in terms of tank painting, they're not abrasive blasting, so there's not gonna be a big shroud, there's not gonna be a lot of
Okay,
debris,
yeah.
dust and things like
And-
that.
and-
It's
Did we
next to
pick
the
a color?
school. I mean, it's next to the school, so
Right.
when that would be like the most critical for
Yeah.
containment
Well,
and
that's what we
emissions and things,
appreciate, yeah.
but we're not
Yeah.
blasting on
Yeah.
either the interior or the exterior.
And that's the only tank that I've ever been inside, and I forgot to take a picture while I was inside, so
Well, it's
maybe
gonna
I'll
be-
get that
I'd like to go
opportunity.
in,
Be
if you
okay.
can't be
Yeah.
empty, that would be fun.
Oh, well, I want to do
Well,
that.
you can go,
too,
you can
so,
go,
yeah,
you can walk
find out.
into it, on the bottom of it. I don't know if you wanna go up. I haven't.
No, I didn't go up, I just went inside.
Okay.
And then, no, you gonna climb it when they're painting?
Yeah, I'll be on site. We have the full-time third-party coatings specialist, but yeah, I'll be down once a week to check in on everything.
So we can get
So
another
he'll be on
picture,
top.
hard hats and sort of
I think that tank there
getting
was
the rain up there.
I think there was a osprey nest up there for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. they like it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, they
I
can imagine.
think the one bit that we'll need to do some coordination with ahead of time is Verizon has cellular up there,
Okay,
which the contractor will coordinate shutdowns by sector so they can work in front of the antenna on the roof. But the antenna have staybacks with these probably 2x2 magnetic plates, these big large magnetic plates that are actually help supporting the handrail. So are you in touch with anyone specific from Verizon? Do you have a point of contact for Verizon?
For the antennas,
For their lease?
I can get one, yeah.
If you have someone, I mean, all the cellular companies are hard to get an individual, or a name or number is, but I have contacts who can put me in channels if you don't, but that would help start that conversation about how they want to handle those magnets.
Okay.
I think that's the one kind of oddball thing about the project, and otherwise, hoping everything will be very straightforward. It should be.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
You're giving us a summary, brought it back to my memory, so I
Yes, this is
appreciate
great.
that.
We appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, and I'll have the contracts together and sent down shortly.
Okay,
Great.
great.
Alright, it was really nice to meet you.
Yes.
both.
Nice to see you,
Great to
Mike.
see you, Jason.
We'll see you in the tank.
All right, yeah.
Judith says goodbye.
All right, take care, Judith. I can send you some pictures from the top.
Yeah, okay, you do that.
All right.
Drone shots or something.
Thanks, Miles,
All
I
right, have
appreciate
a good
it.
afternoon.
So we can put it on our website. Huh?
Yeah, that's another good idea.
Well, we
Okay.
should take pictures in that tank, and
Yeah.
it shows the work that's happening.
I don't mind, I'll pose
Yeah,
for a picture
well,
with the
there you
hard
go.
hat and the yellow
I think-
vest.
Yes, we're gonna
Yeah.
get you out under the bridge too, when they do
We'll
28.
call a hot hat to you.
Yellow, I like the traditional, yeah.
We're still waiting on our t-shirts.
Yeah.
We're
You're
getting
gonna have the
those.
long sleeve pretty soon.
We're working on them too. We have been working on that, haven't we?
Okay, so the next item on our agenda is the grinder pump sewer regulations. And as background, I'll tell you, I feel kind of badly that our brand-new superintendent had to spend, I cannot tell you, countless hours on this in the past year. And I even joined him for a good solid 20 hours on this.
Yes.
I now know more about our sewer use regulations than I really ever wanted to know, to tell you the truth. But as background, these came to us in 2015, Bob, from Chatham. A couple of years later, when the select board was still acting as sewer commissioners, they approved a piece of it, which is called our land use controls. Then in May of '21, they were approved again by this board, and what generated that revision at the time were two changes. One was allowing the people who are connecting to not just have to use a professional engineer, but allowing them if they could also use a sanitarian, which was easier to get and less expensive. And also making the change where people connecting to the system had 2 years to connect rather than 1 year. So that was May of 2021. This revision is being done to add our grinder pump regulations to the sewer regulations. But while we were at it, we went through it as best we could, and believe me, there's a lot more in there. But we got a lot of things changed. We got like they referred to Jason as the director, that's now
Right.
superintendent. A lot of work was done even like on the table of context and how it does things. It'll make the next revision a lot easier.
Yeah.
There's just so much in there, you could almost spend a lifetime on it. So I feel very good in saying that we've done as much as we can on this part. People are waiting for their grinder pumps, we want to move it along. And the way the process works is that right now, this board, we will vote to approve the draft, because that's what it is. we'll vote to approve the draft and to send it to Chatham. Then, when Chatham approves the changes, assuming they do, or comments back, then it will come back to us, and that's when we'll hold a public hearing, and that's when we'll officially vote to adopt them, and they'll be certified by our town clerk. So I'm happy to make the motion myself. This is, I would move that we vote to approve the draft sewer use regulations presented in today's packet, and to have the superintendent deliver them to Chatham for their comment and approval.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And
Can I ask a question?
absolutely, discussion, sorry.
Okay, just for clarification, this draft is from the working draft that we worked on last meeting?
Yeah.
And it's put together whatever comments and, okay, so there's nothing new that our two commissioners who aren't here today,
Now,
No.
what
there's
we,
nothing new,
what we
right?
put in there, just to make it easy for people, was it's the, from beginning to end edit. There's actually two copies. The first one is from the old regs to the new edit, so you could look that way. And then the second copy is with everything changed, the final, well, not the final draft, let me put it that way, yeah, so nothing new.
Perfect, yeah, okay,
So
perfect.
it'll
I just
come-
wanted the
It's gonna come back to
clarification.
us, so.
I can't, go ahead, Bob.
No, I just wanted for my clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My memory. All right,
Okay.
thanks, and I am a vote in favor.
Okay. It's coming back to us anyway,
Yeah.
after Chatham,
Yeah.
so.
And actually, I heard something early this morning, which we'll see how the folks do tomorrow with their meeting with Chatham.
Yes.
But I heard talk that there might be a way, you know, everybody's new at Chatham too, but to change the rules so that if we were changing something technical, it would go to them. But maybe if it's formatting a policy, maybe this board can just make the changes. So that would make life a lot easier. We'll see how Jason and the other people involved do with it, moving that idea along. Last time, they took 2 years. I'm not kidding you.
Is there a deadline we want? I
Well,
mean,
nothing,
ideally, you want to.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
right?
Yeah,
There's
that's-
people actually waiting for the pumps and.
The grinder pumps?
Yeah,
So
Well,
time is of the essence.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
yeah.
So we
So-
put that on our note to Chatham?
yeah. Well, they're going there in person.
Yeah, I'll be there in
Yeah.
person tomorrow, so I will stress that,
Is that the board meeting you're going to?
yes.
Yeah, and it's a public meeting, so I'll be in the audience. So, only because I'm
What
curious.
time is it?
3 o'clock. You wanna go?
Oh, maybe, yeah, we could introduce ourselves if they're all new.
If you wanna go, I would drive downtown and maybe you would drive from there?
Yeah, I could,
Okay, we'll talk tonight.
yeah,
How's that?
let's talk. That's
I don't
good.
know if can I get up into your truck?
Yeah, there's a handle, and
Okay.
we have employees that can lift you.
You would have that big
Two
dog.
dogs, they can pull you.
We'll see.
I'll leave the dog.
We'll talk on the email.
Okay.
So, no, I spent so much time on this, I wanna
I think
hear.
that you should be there to help stress that time is of the essence. We
Yeah.
worked really hard on this.
Yeah.
Well, as they revised the IMA,
Mhm.
we might be able to put a deadline, see, there was no deadline in the last intermunicipal agreement. Part of the reason Jason's going there isn't for our work. This is the meeting when they'll talk to Chatham about whether or not they'll take the effluent from Great Sand Lakes. Remember, that was never discussed, so they could say no, you know. But at any rate, our business is about the sewer use regulations. The town's business is about the intermunicipal agreement.
Right.
A little bit of us too. But maybe as that
Well,
revision.
make sure you guys go first.
You, good, thanks, Steph, for that. Yes, that's a good point.
Yes.
There's an agenda, so, it's a public meeting, there's a regular agenda. But, you know, maybe when they do that revision, maybe we can get some stuff
Yeah.
like that in there, because it affects us even though we don't control it,
Yeah.
so. Okay, so that was 3 ayes. Thank you, folks. That was the end of an awful lot of work for the superintendent.
It's nice to get this stuff off our plate.
Yeah, that's why I said
Sure
we're
is.
voting
Good
today.
work, you guys.
Thank
It sure
you.
is.
Ask me about sewer rates. All right, last regular item. So, we're gonna have to go ahead with this anyway. So item D is the superintendent's evaluation. Right now, Bob and I have in front of us what is the amalgamation of the 5 separate commissioners' individual reports. I do know that Sandy said that we actually all came out around the same place, which was basically, actually it slipped into outstanding. I guess I was the exceeds expectations, but at any rate, bottom line, particularly for a first year, it certainly says that we feel that the superintendent met every need and more for the past year. So I'm going to make a motion that we vote to approve his evaluation.
Yeah, for Judith, I don't think she has that paperwork. I'd just like to point out that he has a score of 95, and there was not any score lower than 4. So I feel very comfortable and commend Jason on the job he's done stepping in as he did. And I'll second that motion.
And yeah, I agree too. And I only gave one lower score just, because you always gotta.
You have to do it somewhere.
Well, our prior chair, Gary Carrero, used to always say, don't spoil them, leave room for growth. And the honest to God, he said that every year,
I think you should spoil on the first year.
Yes,
Third,
So that's my way of admitting that some of my numbers may have been a hair lower than yours, but there's going to be many years for growth. But not much lower, just a teeny bit with a lot of explanations. Bottom line, the board is in general absolutely in agreement, so.
So
Yeah,
if this
very
motion
happy.
passes, we can sign this?
Bob and I will sign this. Judith, you'll have to stop in sometime. John Goff will have to stop in,
Okay.
and Alan will have to stop in.
Good.
But the vote has to be done at a meeting, so all in favor?
Aye,
And I'm an aye.
I,
great.
Okay. So right now, Bob, you and I will sign ours. I'll sign one.
Yeah.
Can we take any one, or was there
I
a?
have one specifically for
Yeah,
Sandy
she
to
had one for
sign.
signature. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so while we sign that, I'm going to go on to superintendent's report.
Okay, superintendent report, Route 28, Phase 2. We went over that. The Phase 1, there's no new news there. VHB is still working with Mass DOT. And I have been working with GHD. They are working on some of our water plans, on our water main, that they're working with VHB and just some connections and what we want down at Division Street and Route 28. So that'll be at the end there, so we are working those out to get those engineered plans there.
Yeah.
Station 10, the new well, there's no new news there. They're still working on that. Apex on the hydraulic model, we're working with getting them data now. I've been sending them some data on what they need.
Pardon me for interrupting for 1 second. So Tracy, does this have the number on the first page?
I can add it on there quickly because I was going to give you that signature at the end. So let me go ahead and
Okay,
put that on
thanks.
quick.
Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
The sanitary survey I brought up, we needed to have a cybersecurity assessment by the EPA. That was scheduled. We all sat in on the assessment. That was done on July 31st. I just had a DEP assessment, because that's what they wanted. You go from the EPA to the DEP, and that was done. So on our sanitary survey, that was one of the criteria that they wanted accomplished. So I just signed off on that and sent that back to the DEP. We're good there. Now I have a whole bunch of things that the DEP wants me to do with all the computers, and there's a number of things, but the good thing is, I will be sitting here, I will be working with the staff, and I'll be working with our IT and our OT, so that'll be the in-house IT person and our SCADA people, and we're gonna make up a nice little schedule of when all this stuff is gonna be accomplished. And DEP also notified me that there's a $50,000 grant that I will be applying for to put this towards this cybersecurity. So hopefully that'll help out a lot. So that gives me some more things to do here.
50,000.
Yeah. So, so that'll, but that is all done. I have another 30 days to come up with a schedule for DEP, and I think it'll be in it ahead of time before that, and we'll start working on it.
I'm sorry, there's so many things.
Oh,
You know, I mean, it's like every report we turn in becomes another whole project.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's almost like it doesn't even become the
Yeah.
project till you submit it, and you think
Yeah.
you're done with it, and then
Yeah.
it's an abatement.
The DEP was really good to work with, I will tell you that. They
Really?
understood where we were at, what we were doing. I got a lot of you guys are doing a great job there, so,
Really?
yeah, that was really good.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that one is done. The asset management grant, we are waiting for an answer for that grant, for the asset management. That's gonna be water and wastewater. So that'll be great. That'll be really good. We had the fountain information.
That's right.
Great.
Okay, so I went up and I asked Megan why that the fountain was on town meeting. And she said due to the cost being over $50,000 and the transfer of funds from a resident to the town, that it had to be on town meeting floor.
Patrick's, yeah.
So what was the first part of that? Because it's over?
Over $50,000, this is what I was told, because it was over $50,000, and it was the transfer of funds between a resident and,
Okay, so it sounds like Megan confused two different situations, possibly.
Mhm.
The money from the private citizen was Patrick Lawton, that was 20,000, there were four of them,
oh, okay.
yeah. But there probably was a previous time,
Oh,
you know,
right,
that
yeah.
had to do with some fountain that was
Yeah.
over 50, or many that
Mhm.
were over 50. Jason pursued this because we asked about recreation,
Right.
but also, you know, Alan was about town meeting and stuff,
Right.
so, well, you know, which if we're doing a program, I think town meeting is appropriate, maybe not appropriate for an individual.
Yeah, you know, when I did the research on this, the town, there's a agenda item on the select board minutes accepting this fountain and basically promising to maintain it,
Mhm.
which
Really?
clearly they
Okay.
dropped the ball on that. And so the intent of those plaques and that fountain being given to the town has kind of been breached. You know, the town didn't do its duty.
Mhm.
And so that's why I feel it's appropriate for the 6,000 and what have you. I think Megan's, honestly, I think she's wrong
Yeah.
I
on
do
this.
too.
I don't,
And you don't want to get into it, but
Yeah.
I mean, and right now we have a town administrator that's there for 90 days and then maybe another 90 days, depending on what have you. So
Right.
this thing, if you're looking for a final answer, I don't think you'll get it.
so I did talk with Eric Beebe at the Recreation Department, and he said that they do take care of that, and they pay that water bill there, and I had expressed that there could be interest of putting a fountain at a location there, and more of a fountain that's sanitary,
Yeah,
you know. So he said yes, he would welcome that. So,
See, that's important, I think. I'm gonna, next, if we could keep this on the agenda,
Yeah.
just let it ride, I'll bring in that piece that the select board accepted.
Good, I'd like to see that. And I'm just trying to remember, this particular fountain that you are suggesting, did that also have a drink refiller?
Yeah. it's a lot
yeah,
of-
so it had a drink refill,
Right,
a bottle
on the
refill,
doggy thing. I got that.
and it also had a bubbler, and it
Yeah.
also had something for pets too.
I mean, it might be, God bless the church for doing that, putting a tank out there. I'm not sure how sanitary it really is on the inside, but,
Yeah.
you know, when it's hot like this, people, again, they bring their animals, go
Right.
over there.
I'm inclined to go ahead with this one, not today, I'd rather have a fuller board.
Yeah.
So I'd like to put it on for the next meeting.
Good.
The way I've been thinking lately, and I've talked to Jason, is that I do want to get clarification for the board in general on, is this a proper use of our water rate money? But I'm thinking about that more in terms of if we go forward, like with our water map, and, you know, add a regular program that we have written out, a policy, and whether we would consider adding one or two to the town a year, or refurbishing some that are
Sure.
there, or something like that. But for this individual one, personally, I don't see the harm in doing a service for the town out of our water rates and going
Well,
ahead.
he just sold some water. If they're gonna pay the bill,
That's right. Oh, yeah, we're not
So,
paying for the water,
I don't
that's
know how much
different.
that generates,
Yeah,
but, you
yeah.
know,
Right. Well, it does get a lot of foot traffic over there.
it gets a lot of foot
It's-
traffic,
Right.
it'll get good use. People have their own bottles like this
That's right.
now,
So,
and they're very proprietary with their bottles. It's funny.
so at any rate, so that's how I'm thinking, but as I say, I would rather have a discussion with a fuller board, since it is a little bit unusual from my normal business. if
Okay.
That's okay. How do you feel, Judith?
You still there?
Judith? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yes. Yeah, no, I think if you want to wait, that's fine, but, I'm excited for it to happen.
Yeah, I'd like to show you
Yeah, I'd
the
like
stuff
to-
I got,
that'll give me a
because
little
it's
more.
kind of fascinating, the history and all of that. It backs us up.
All right, so we'll put this on as a regular agenda item under old business, not in the superintendent's report, a regular listed
Yeah.
item.
Thanks.
And we can even put on it, if you want, you know, dash vote to approve or whatever, make it totally clear and
Yeah,
go
put
for
it
it.
out there.
Yeah, perfect. All right, let me just make another note.
Maybe I can have that stuff for your packet by the 9th, too, for everybody to look at.
That'd be great. On September 9th, all right. Only took a year, Bob.
I know.
Nothing to worry about there, so. All right.
Bay Road,
Mhm.
their two laterals are hooked up to the new sewer main that runs down that road. So John is not flushing that anymore.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that is
Wow.
good. That was hooked up last Monday.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, so that was good. They really did a good job with putting that down Bay Road and getting them hooked up, and GHD engineered that, and Bobby Hour, so everybody came together and got this done, so it was really good.
And, you know, I did thank John when I saw him last
Oh, yeah.
week, but, you know, thanks to John for all of that, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
that was an incredible amount of work for him, and he only came in brand new in March of '24, and that's what
Yeah.
he walked into, you know,
Wow.
so.
And he really did a good job.
Yeah.
He did a great job monitoring it.
Right.
He was out there and he was, you know, popping that manhole, looking at it. We've gone out there multiple times. He's gone out there a great
Yeah.
deal, and
Right.
just flushing that out and make sure that everything was okay. So that was really good. Grinder regulations we went over. Grinder pump E1 certification class. I'm putting a certification class. So when the people get these grinder pumps, in the bid, there is a 5-year warranty on the grinder pumps. There's a one-year warranty on it, and then if it's installed by a certified contractor, that then it goes from 1 year to 5 years. So in the bid, it has a class, an E1 class from the pump that won the bid. So the C1 pump, we have a representative coming down from Rockland, from RF Mahoney, and they're gonna put this class on. And we can have some of our guys here participate in it. It's a free class. And then they have to go online and get certified afterwards, after they take this class. And then they can work on the pumps in the town of Harwich and for the customers here.
Okay, so, I mean, what do you mean they can work on the pumps?
So you have to be a certified installer to get the 5-year warranty on it. So in order for that, E1 wants somebody certified putting this pump in to get them that 5-year warranty.
And
So-
that's gonna be this department that
Yeah.
installs
No, we're
it?
not.
Yeah, all right, that's
we're
why
not-
I
We're
read
not.
that.
We're not
Yeah.
doing that. But if some of the guys want to get some knowledge
Oh,
Right.
okay.
of these and what's going on and how they're installed, then we can do that. But no, we're not going to be doing any of the maintenance, any of the installs or anything.
So, I mean, with this, other than people getting more information, which is wonderful, would this be for other plumbers out there, or, I mean, how does John Doe, the plumber, get certified so that a resident can hire him to install his grinder pump?
We're getting the list from the Board of Health.
Right.
On the installs, the
Right.
installers. So we're going to send out a notice to them.
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to send out a notice to
Yep.
them so that they can come to this
Right,
class.
if they want to or
Yep.
not, it's up to them. Okay, that was just the piece, I didn't see
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and then, and that's part of the bid, so that's just part of the process that we're doing.
Okay.
So, and
Great.
that'll be, in the end of September.
I mean, do other towns, do grinder pumps become this huge an amount of work for other towns? Or is it partly because we are a split
No.
authoritative?
It's
No,
all sewer
they-
going in.
They become a very big,
Wow.
yeah, it's a
I've
big,
never seen anything become this much work.
it's
We
a big piece of the puzzle.
We started talking about these 10 years ago. I had no idea it was
Yeah.
gonna become this much work.
And every town is different. There's no cookie cutter, every town is different on how they handle them and what they want to do. So,
Wow,
but that's what I had.
okay. Commissioners report.
The only thing I have to say is I'd like to commend you guys for the PFAS money that was gotten, and especially the way it was worded in the article in the newspaper and I guess with the board, because there's some other articles being printed about this that aren't necessarily factual. It's conjecture and could be inflammatory if read the wrong way or presented the wrong way, and I think you guys handled it really well.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you from Jason and
I'll second that.
all of us. And I'll let you know that also in getting ready for this, well, for one thing, eventually we'll get more written information on the exact uses of that money, so we can put it in the proper fund with the proper uses to squirrel it away. But as part of getting ready for this announcement, I was looking at, some of our reports, consumer confidence, and also our page, and the department is going to jazz up our PFAS page on the website, since now it's become a much more common thing for people to
Right.
look up, so.
There's some scary stuff around it.
Right.
you know.
Well, if you peek at that page on the Water Department website, if you have any comments on that, this'll, over the next few months, it's not
Okay, yeah.
overnight,
No, I'll look at it.
because it's good too to get the point of view of a layperson, you know, because they're so technical with all their testing that, you know, God love them, sometimes they can't see the forest.
Yeah, we just got our new sampling schedule from Mass DEP.
Okay.
So, because we have detected so low, our next sample schedule is 2027.
Right. See, and that's the only problem that I mentioned to them with that is, so when you're looking at our page and you see, okay, a test in 225 and a test in 227, I think that the layperson thinks, oh, they missed a year, you know what I mean? So one of the things that they'll be doing is adding a list where it says like 2026, either no test or no detect or whatever, but to acknowledge each step along the way so it doesn't look like we were haphazard
Yes.
in our reporting. You know,
Yeah.
even for the years when they were quarterly, if it's got a, you know, 4 quarterly reports of no detect, no detect, no detect, you know, that's okay.
And sometimes it can be a little bit confusing when you're
It is
looking at the
very
CCR,
Yeah,
because they want you, if I tested in 2024 for PFAS,
right,
I have to list those no detects, and the date will stay there, even though 2025, I didn't have to test. So
Right,
next year,
it's-
the date is going to stay there, and some people might look at that and say, oh, they didn't,
right,
it's the wrong date,
Yeah.
they didn't report it.
yeah,
No, it's just because we didn't test, and we have to
Right.
keep that notification in there.
yeah. And so maybe for those, we put something like testing not required per DEP
You
or
know, that's a
something like
good
that.
point. The article I read was scary in the sense that they kept saying it could be something that would infect your genes, it could
Right.
be.
Right,
And
right,
so there's no scientific proof that that actually happened. But
Mhm.
because they put that word in there, they can put all these scenarios out there that just aren't proven.
that's right. And I got called by some select board members, and they had some follow-up questions, and for instance, they didn't totally understand the saving the money since we don't have it, you know, and I said, you know, it is only a matter of time, you know, it's all around us, get used to, as long as it stays in trace levels, and we're ready to buy a gigantic filter for several $1 million to put on our
Yeah.
water treatment plant when we have to, then, you know, those are our procedures. You
Mhm.
know, that's what we do, and the great monitoring that they do.
My only question was, they settled pretty quick, you know?
This has
Yeah.
been, this has been a while in the
Well,
works.
Right.
3
but
years,
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's gonna get bigger down the road.
I don't know.
They wanna get it out of the way.
Yeah, this has been going on for a long time, and they've had other people that have some really issues,
Mhm.
towns, that have done this, and then they got a class action suit,
Right.
and then that's where they,
I'd like to know how much Chatham got,
I don't know.
you know, I'm going to, if you ever find out, let us know, because they have a PFAS problem. I'd be curious how much they got.
I'd be curious about Barnstable.
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah.
it'd be nice to get a list of
Didn't this-
everyone.
Didn't it start in the south, though, Florida and Louisiana and those
Florida.
places?
Florida,
Yeah.
one town in Florida got the largest settlement. They'll most likely be something, they have to disclose that somewhere, but they got the largest settlement. I was talking to a gentleman that was a representative, and he said it'll definitely come out. But it was it's some
Yeah.
big settlement that they got. And that was the
All right.
first one.
Anything else, Commissioner? Judith, do you have anything for Commissioner's report?
Just a question.
Yeah.
And maybe it needs to go on an agenda item. Is anyone thinking of attending the One Cape Summit this year?
What is that?
When is it?
The
Where
Cape
is it?
Cod
I'm out-
Commission,
Oh,
it's here in Harwich. It's either the Wequassett or the Witchmere, I forget which. I think it's at the Witchmere this year. It's September 16 and 17. And they bring in speakers, and they do panels, and kind of work the second day is usually like small group workshops. And it's all about major challenges for the Cape.
You know,
Water, infrastructure, housing, to whatever.
I remember years and years ago, remember when it was in
Yeah.
Hyannis, and it used to be free? And I remember Dan and I used to say,
Yeah.
we would like to go, because it's the only way we'll ever get to the Wachusett, was our thinking. But
It used to be free, I think.
I know,
Yeah.
but we never made it, we were too busy, so,
Municipal.
and now it's a small fortune, isn't it, to go? I mean, not that that
Well,
stops
For
anyone,
the
but,
mu- for individuals, yes, but for municipal, like us,
yeah,
kind of thing, no. It's like $85 a day.
yeah.
I mean, I just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
I'd like to
I
s-
couldn't go both days anyway, but yeah, Bob, you should definitely check out, they don't have much on the agenda yet, but, and Jason may want to become part of it, I don't know.
I'm
Let's
gonna
talk
look
about it. I can get you into
Yeah.
Wachusett though, after it's over.
Really? Oh,
Well, they're wanting to do that expansion, and they come in to Seal all the time, and they're looking for public support.
expansion for what?
There are a few
Oh.
more rooms and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, no, I saw
And
some
they-
of those.
They've been redesigning it and bringing it back, and he's like, come in, take care of you. So,
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, he's hitting you up that way, I
Yeah.
see. You know, years ago, you were here, then I think they wanted to hook onto our sewer, but
Yes.
then they went their own way, yeah.
They're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
None of it's
interesting to
settled.
do a tour of their facility. Did they build their new facility?
No, not yet. They haven't, they're still in the,
Oh, okay.
they withdrew their application with the Cape Cod Commission because they didn't want a denial. And part of the problem is, in those meetings, it's all Zoom, and there was like 125 people at a time allowed on Zoom.
Okay.
And so he said, we'd sit there and see people go feed their dog and,
Oh
you
my
know, all this stuff. And then they had an audience too. So when it came down to the brass tacks, they just took it out and said, we'll come back. So,
Well, I'm gonna pass on, but thank you for bringing it up, Judith, because I
Yeah, I'll
actually
take a look.
forgot, I used to be on their
Okay.
list, and I didn't see one this year. But I'm gonna pass this year, but hey, maybe we'll make a better effort this year to get a few commissioners up to the MMA. We haven't really made an effort at that, that's the one in January, that we either go for 1 day or 2 days, and maybe we'll make a little effort to get up there
Yeah.
for that one. But, I mean, but you're,
Yeah.
if you go to One Cape, let us know what happened.
No, I was actually thinking that either you or Bob might be interested in attending.
Yeah,
and
no,
Jason,
I couldn't go both days, and it's really the first day is kind of when you get
yeah,
and Jason too, and you get a heartbeat of what's the major focus, well, not only focus, but what kind of decisions are coming down the road. Some of this stuff is going to be regional, right? At the end of the day.
so,
I'll be,
Yeah.
I'm willing to be the subcommittee to see what the agenda is and if I can get us an invite.
Okay. Oh, everybody's invited. It's up to and you just have to register with Sandy could register. It's just got to be a municipal.
I didn't mean to put you off
Oh,
mentioning
that's
the money.
easy enough.
Sorry, Judith. I
No,
was just
no,
telling him I wasn't
just
trying
know
to put
that-
him
No,
off.
it's much
dealt with
cheaper
these
than
guys a lot.
MMA, I can tell you that. It's much
I'd like to
cheaper
do
than
that, too.
MMA. I think it's like $85 for a day. Yeah, so 150 for 2 days and that probably includes some pretty good meals if it's, at the Witchmere. So.
Okay, is that?
All right, I'll work on it.
All right, no, that was done for you. Anything else,
Okay.
Judith?
No,
Commissioners
just thanks
report?
for all the work that
Okay,
for you and Jason on those regs.
well,
Yeah.
it feels real good to move them along, I'll tell you.
I wrote a dissertation, I'm sending it to you guys for edits.
And
Good job.
And the other thing is that the next round will be a lot
Yeah.
easier, so
Yes.
that's good to know too. And I have nothing, I'm happy to say. So,
Oh my goodness.
I'll make the motion we adjourn.
fine by me.
I will second that.
And at 3:10, so we are adjourned.